Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we are going to talk about Jacques Vert in deck number 438. This is one of those now granted the card type was young, but this is kind of one of those underwhelming legends that, it is what it is. It's 4 mana 3/2. All your green creatures gain +0/+2. Now, he is centered in green. Oh, I don't know this shard. This is the dinosaur shard. Green centered. Naya? Anyway. White, green, red. So, by him focusing on green, I said, you know what? Green is obviously going to be our central color, and we will do other things. Like I have one creature in the deck that I think is not green. All the other creatures are in fact green. So I was like, okay, well, but it just seemed like, well, it's 3 colors, so it's okay if it's Selesnya or Gruul, white, green, or green, red. So it started off to become an absolute gold deck, all multicolor. And I found in the binder, I found the Urza's filter, so I'm like, you know what? That's pretty neat. And also, I had a Dragon Arch. So I was like, okay, multicolor, here we come. Then, not too long ago, of course, our last bout in Ravnica, we got the Glass of the Guild Pact. So I said, you know what? We're kind of on the way there. So I guess first let's look at ramp, I don't know if it's as ramp as so much mana fixing, but let's go with it. We have a Gruul Signet. We have a Selesnya Signet. If you'll notice, all of these produce green. Like when we get to the non-basic land section, all of the non-basic lands produce green and something else, We have Naya. That's it. Naya. I knew we'd come across it. Tome of the Guild Pact. This is totally worth 5 mana. Cast a multicolor spell, draw a card. Even in heavy decks, that's what, half your spells? Well, in this deck, it's way more than half. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have, mana creatures that are monocolor. Playing the Thornscape Familiar, making your red and white spells cost 1 less, which by default, since the only red and white spells that are in the deck primarily are white-green or red-green, by default, it reduces those as well, too. Now, of course, the Zertod Druid, Paradise Druid, Steward of Valeran, Druid of the Enema, Joiner Adept, all good mana dorks in and of itself. Now, Keeper of Progenitus does, while not gold, it still helps all 3 of our basic lands, so that's really good. I mean, it doubles. Now, granted, it does do the table, but so does Overabundance, which this card doesn't really see a whole lot of play, but for Gruul-style decks, it's a mana flare, but it also is a mana barbs. So, and then we have Nikia, because it seemed to fit right in there. It's gold. It's a big creature. You can't cast non-creature spells. Nikia probably not living that long anyway. And if you get Nikia to stick, to be honest with you, you probably are in good shape not to cast non-creature spells. We do have a few, but most of the deck, by and large, is creatures. So here's my 1 mono white creature, just because the value I could not ignore. Cast a multicolor spell to make a token. Garrick's Pack Leader. You play a big creature, you get a big creature, you draw a card. To Garrick's Horde, there's I can't remember. I actually listed the deck on Tapped Out a while ago, several days ago, so I had a lot. I've slept since then, so I want to say it's like 40-something creatures in the deck, so this is a good chance. Behemoth's Herald. Yeah, Yeah. Giving you a chance to read it. Godsire is in there. Just because, I mean, an 8/8 that taps to make 8/8s. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Conclave Guildmage. The beautiful part here is the trample enabler. This is kind of the slot where I would be running like Primal Rage. So, yeah, two to cast, one to use. Yeah, I mean, granted it is sick. Shanna, just probably a really cheap beater. Watchwolf is a cheap beater. The Scarlet Guildmage, there again, this one for 4 mana, you don't have to wait on Summoning Sickness to get it, to give your team trample. There's really kind of value in trample here because we got some beaters. Naya Hushblade is just going to be a 2 mana 3/2 Shroud. That seems really, really good. Grand Warlord Rada. It's going to help out with some mana. Photo Hydra. Now, yeah, as many discounts and mana rocks as we have, this 5 mana 1/1. But you know what? This card right here almost made me put a Pyrohemia in the deck. for just the giggles, Wilderness Elemental is great in our format because, we love us some non-basic lands. And it's your opponents, the total number of opponents. Loxodon Smiter. Radiant Kavu. Prevent all combat damage creatures that aren't our colors would deal this turn. That's pretty sweet. So this is this one-sided fog? I mean, yeah, assuming you're not going up against the Gruul or Celestia or Mono, any of those colors, but yeah, just blue and black, that's pretty not bad. Zendikar Incarnate, number of lands you control. Loxodon Hierarch. Pale Recluse is in there just for the cycling, but you know what? 4 or 5 reach. There's nothing to sneeze at either. Stonebrow. Ulash. Savageborn Hydra. Rubble Hulk. Rith. Rurik Thar, because, hey, we're on that creature plan, right? I mean, why not? Megalanoth. Marisi Twin Claws. That double strike is it's a real thing. What about Bobo? I love Bobo. A counter on your team? Yeah, okay. Of course, the only downside to Bobo is, the 7 mana cost. But you know what? We have ways to make that cheaper. We have ways to get there faster. And if we got the Arch, we can just pop him out there for free with the quickness. Selesnya Guildmage, Rumblebelt Raiders. Now, yeah, I run the Paragon in there just because of that other green creatures clause, but that's what got my attention. The fact that I can give something trample is what, earned it its place. It sent me over the edge. Chorus of the Conclave. The Forest Walk is not nothing, but the ability to pay extra mana to get additional 1/1 counters late game when you draw that Watchwolf and you can play it as a 8/8, that's pretty good. And don't tell the boys over at CCO, a Talkthon Worm. I don't know that we're going to convoke it that much. It's probably just going to jump into play with the Arch, but still, it's a 9/14. We have the Auxiliary, because that's a colon. And, we've got a couple of mana doublers. Granted, there's a couple of more we could be running. If I had them, I'd be playing the Mana Flare in the Mirari's Wake. But, wow. Just having this be repeatable. Good Fortune Unicorn. That's not bad. Not a new Alara. Yes, I did get a whole bunch of those signed. This actually is probably looking a lot like, what is that? Brienne? No, Rienne. Get Game of Thrones out of your head, Brian. The M20 Angel. I think it's in the same colors, isn't it? That also cares about multicolor. I'm pre-building that deck as much as I can before M20 comes out, and I know Knight of New Alara has a spot in that deck as well. I'm trying to do it as differently as possible, but I kind of, and I don't know, maybe I screwed up doing two decks pretty similar, close to each other. I don't know. So let's look at some non-creatures. Elidamir's Call. I mean, to go and get whatever every creature that we need. Naya Charm. Reborn Hope, because it's probably going to get, it's probably a regrowth. I mean, to be honest with you. Well, that was a Vivid Revival. Slid by there. 3 multicolor cards. Psychotic Fury. Multicolor gains double strike and you draw a card. That's not bad. Rhythm of the Wild. Yeah, Riot's not bad too. Or Haste. Camaraderie. I mean, gaining X life, drawing X cards, X number of creatures, and they get +1. It seems like the place I want to be. Removal, of course, we got not a lot. I mean, Savage Twister, Hull Breach, Artifact Mutation, and Return to Nature. And then we go, of course, to our non-basic lands, which I'm not running any kind of special non-basics. There's no Rogue's Passage because in 3 colors, with everything gold, we pretty well need every land to tap for at least 2 colors of mana. So a lot of, it's just a lot of the, the lower end duels, because that's what we all have. We don't all have, I don't have enough ABUR duels and shocks to do every deck, but like the Jungle Shrine might as well be tapped for any color because it's any of the 3 colors that we need, right? The Promenade, Gateway Plaza, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Terramorphic, Evolving, Panorama, and of course the Sands. And that's what we've got. We got another Legends legend crossed off the list, so that's a good thing. Doesn't happen a lot because a lot of those original legends are kind of hard to do. Whoa, I got a free shuffle out of the deal, didn't I? Try to use as many of those guild lands as possible. Those are pretty sweet. Didn't get a lot of fulls of them though, because those were not easy to get. So we're going to put that on there. General up top. And to move our cord so I don't trip over it this time. I think I almost tripped over it last time. And we will put deck number 438 to rest here. And, whoop, a little bit of a glare there. So there we are. I've already got deck number 439 done. So we're going to get to it here for too long. Maybe next couple days. But I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. I think right now we're going to shuffle and cut.